So, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining me for another Master Lok Style Tai Chi and Qigong class. Let's take right hand in a fist, please, left hand straight, and tuck back that thumb with feet together, hands together, and we salute. Lovely. Let's open our stance, and we'll just get going with a little bit of four corner warm up. Oh, I was just warning everyone. Oh, I've got a burn on my arm. Don't be distressed if I take my jumper off. I'm just realizing I'm wearing long-sleeved t-shirt, so you won't see it. Oh, but that's okay. So I didn't need to tell you that. Anyway, it's getting better. Breathe and relax. I was quite shocked. I've heard of scalds, but apart from the odd hot water bottle incident, I've never had much in the way of scalds, but I made a nice pint of tea because I drink by the pint and was carrying too many things and tried to stop the dog from running out the door, and the cup juggled and the water spilled and it went through my jumper and straight onto my arm, and then the jumper held the heat and held the water against my arm for a few seconds until I could take it off, and it was quite badly burned. And I did run it under cold water, but I had my client arriving within a couple of minutes, so I didn't do the 10 minutes under cold water like you're meant to. Um, and yeah, not very nice. It blistered the next day. It was funny, it was just red for one day, and then when I woke up the next day, it was all big. Lovely. So, but as I say, it's on the mend. It was a week ago. Let's change direction, please. And breathe, relax. Been watching a series of short videos on YouTube of people have got tattoos. The reason I'm thinking of tattoos, someone thought that my burn was a tattoo. I'm like, no, it was an accident. But I've been watching this series on Chinese tattoos that people get, or tattoos in Chinese in the language. And then it's a Chinese lady translating what is on them. And some of them are wild. Like, I do not understand, all sorts of interesting things. And quite often she'll read them and then she'll say it's gibberish. But I want to know what the gibberish says, I think it's fascinating. Good. Okay, so let's do another exercise where we go into the four corners and breathe. So this time we're, both exercises are going into the four corners. This version we remain upright. Whereas the last one, there was a rocking motion with the whole body. So you'll feel this one is more contained. You'll feel down into the four corners of your feet. You don't go beyond the four corners of your feet. Keep breathing. Good, let's change direction. So before we started the recording, we were talking about corrections, or just applying corrections or working on a section of a form that you've been finding tricky. And it was very good what was said. It was like, yeah, you just take a little bit and play with it and see how that goes. And then take a little bit and play with it. Repeat, 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 while doing it mindfully, doing it with awareness, so that if it doesn't feel quite right, you can play with it rather than going, well, that didn't feel right, move on. And that's a really good way. In fact, you can do that throughout your whole practice. You can just take a section of the form and play with it, whether you're happy with it or not. Just take that section, do it a few times, then move on to the next section and do it a few times. Good. Let's come out of our stance and shake out. It's a very good way because it consolidates what you already know. It makes it even stronger, a better connection. It helps your body memory. And it also can highlight if there are little places where the body memory or the understanding is a bit weaker. Change direction, please. So you can do that with any form. You can do that with any practice, actually. So breathe and relax. So same if you're cooking, if there's one aspect, maybe chopping the onions, you never quite get the onions the way you want them, practice. Make lots of dishes with onions and practice cutting them. Shaking out, please, and on the other side. When I was wee, my mum went into this phase of wanting to do souffle. And sometimes your souffle would rise, and sometimes it didn't. And sometimes it would rise, and then it would fall. And it was a challenge, you know, that she kept working on her souffle until it was nice and fluffy, but it didn't sink. Good, let's change direction. So most things, when it comes right down to it, come to practice. If you practice enough, you will get better, but only if you're doing it mindfully. You're being aware when it succeeds and when it fails, and not beating yourself up, but playing with it. Okay, let's kick one foot forwards and step down, and we'll go forwards and back. And breathe. Are you clicking? I am. Good. And let's swap over. Remember a teacher at school in biology? She was saying, she was probably my age, around that. She was saying that now every time she went up the stairs, her knee clicked. And I thought, oh, how horrible. Now everything clicks all the time. But I often was clicking anyway, even from a young age. So clicks are not a problem, folks. It's okay if you're clicky. It's not great if it hurts. So sometimes you can be doing absolutely, you know, perfectly good form, everything's under control, everything's right. You still may get clicks. That's okay. As you warm, hopefully the clicks will reduce down because the fluid between the joints warms and becomes slick, becomes smooth. Again, I like my videos. I was watching a video on somatic practice for fascia, and Tai Chi is somatic practice for fascia, among other things. Somatic just means listening to your body. And they describe, can we do a little twist, please, while I talk? They describe the body when it is stiff as being dehydrated. So it's a very different way of thinking about things. They say, you know, if when things are all kind of sticky, when you know, your limbs or your body just doesn't feel that it can move easily, that's considered dehydration. So it's not actually to do with how much water you drink, though obviously that plays a part. Good, let's come back to center and swing and bounce. But how the tissues are responding with the fluid inside them. So they say that when everything is slick and smooth, that area is hydrated, and when it is sticky and thick, it is dehydrated. So that is an interesting thing to think about. Change direction, please. If you take that model of understanding, it means you may have enough fluid in your body. Your body as a whole may be hydrated. You may have taken enough drink. Let's relax and circle the shoulders. But an area of the body, the fluid within that area, may be sticky and not hydrated, that the fluid is not plump and soft and smooth and all the rest of it. So, yeah, interesting. So they were saying that if you listen to your body and you just gently adjust, is that familiar? If you're not comfortable, adjust. If you adjust your system until you're comfortable, instantly your system can go from dehydrated, or that area can go from dehydrated to hydrated, that it can start to move smoothly and comfortably, that the fluid within it becomes slippy and nice. So isn't that interesting? I thought that was, it's a new way of thinking about things for me. But I do think about things in that terms, but just not using those words. So if you're not comfortable, if something hurts or just doesn't quite feel right, adjust. Listen to your body. Look what we're doing one at a time. That's it. So sometimes that adjustment may be do more warm-ups, just gently move until everything starts to become slick and slidey. So in those somatic terms, a warm-up is really hydrating your body. It's letting the fluid in your body become slippy and soft so that your body can move easily and change direction. And if it's not slippy and slick, then it's dehydrated, the tissues are dehydrated, and if we try to move them, then it can be uncomfortable, and we can even injure ourselves. We can get tissue damage because we're trying to get stuff to move when it's stuck. Good. Okay, so let's come back to center. We're going to take a deep breath and lift, and breathe out. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out. Good, lift, and breathe out. Good. Now, make yourself comfortable. I wasn't planning on doing those warm-up exercises. It just kind of happened because I wanted to chat with you and I wanted to have you moving while doing so. So because of that, we were actually using an old model of warm-up that I used to use all the time. And we didn't do any knees or hips. So we're going to do that now. So bring your feet together or nearly together and bring your hands to just above your knees. And we're just going to gently rotate. Now, this exercise is fraught with peril because if done badly, it can just hurt. So again, we have to listen to our bodies and we go gently and we do a small, soft movement. So we're not drilling like this. Yeah, small, soft, slow movement and change direction. And again, my knee, interestingly, the knee that doesn't ever hurt me is clicking. The one that does sometimes hurt is fine. So, but it's fine. Clicking is okay. Don't worry about that. Good. Now, let's try open the knees, push them out a little bit. It's the same movement, but now you're using mirror symmetry. That's it. And let's change direction. So again, soft, gentle, small. Don't be shoving your knees out hugely. Good. Okay, and up you come. Relax. Let's open our stance and sit down, and we're going to do one hip. One hip. So what I mean is one side of your hips is circling. It goes out, forwards, in and back, out, forwards, in and back, and you let your body move. Do you see it's very similar to our first warm-up exercise, that because you're moving your hips, your body is moving with. I'm not doing isolation like this. Yeah, I'm moving with. Good. Let's change on the other side. So out, forwards, in and back. Out, forwards, in and back. This is a Chen warm-up exercise. But as I say, Master Lok loves Chen style. It influences his work, so I'm always happy to combine the two. Not in an actual form, but it's okay to do Chen warm-up and apply Chen principles because let's face it, the Chen family created Tai Chi. As far as we're concerned, they were the originators. Good. Okay, let's come up. So they inform all other styles of Tai Chi. Excellent. All right, let us do the first three moves of 7 stars. We might do once through the Phoenix, and then we'll have a look at the Immortals. So make yourself comfortable. If you want to take a sip of water, now's a good time. Rehydrate. There's my famous pint pot, but went against me, excuse me, went against me when I spilled it over myself. Okay, open door, open door 5, the first of the 7 star in rotations exercises. So we start with Wuji, please. Lengthen up and relax down. Calming down. Lengthen the fingers down. And we begin. Level with your waist. Check posture, release, relax shoulders, drop elbows, feel into hands, and let's roll forwards and back. Fill your back and release. Let's turn. Let's change direction. Don't know if you heard that, but my shoulder just made a massive clunk. That can also happen, just like the clicks. We draw in, float up, and expand. Again, I put that down to the fluid warming. So, or you could say hydrating. It's becoming slippy from being thick. So movement actually hydrates. If you think of it in somatic cadence, if you think of how they talk about things, the fluid between your joints is thick. When you're not using your joints, it's just kind of dry. But when you start to move, it warms and it changes. It just changes in nature so that everything is nice and comfortable. Change direction, please. So until everything is nice and slippy and warm, you may well get clunks and clicks and just not feel very loose. It's not just the fluid between the joints, it is the tissues themselves. Hydrate. Remember, blood is mostly water. So if your circulation is improved, there is better hydration. Good, let's come back to center. Take a deep breath. Feel down the body and open, and down and turn, and around, up the back, around the waist, and relax to center. So another aspect of fluid within the body is lymph. And now we're working on the lymph. We take a deep breath, we open. The lymph is your disposal, waste disposal aspect, and it is fluid. It is liquid fat that carries away all the yuck and brings it back into the circulatory system to then be disposed of. So relax and breathe. One more time, deep breath. So the lymphatic system not just tidies away rubbish in the body, but it fights infection. So when we work on the lymphatic system, on draining away that stuff, we're also improving our immunity, our immune system. Hug your elbows in and breathe down into your belly. Feel into your body and notice, does it feel different from before you started? Well done. Relax gently down and we will close. Good job, folks. I'm going to pause the video for a moment. Okay, folks, so let us now do our Phoenix in graceful clouds of blessing. We're going to go from the beginning. We will do it once through just on the first side. So we don't always have to do it on both sides. It is an option. But just to keep it going in our minds, we will do it on one side. Then I'll stop and check with you. If you want to do it on the other side, we can do that. And then we'll go on to our Immortals form. Okay, are we ready? We lengthen up and relax down. Calming down. Listening behind. Ready? Let's scoop. Hello, Rosie. Good. Okay. Well done. Were we happy? Yeah. Would you like to do it on the other side? Yes. Okay, let's do it on the other side. Good. So you will get to the stage, folks, that initially when you do it on the other side, it will all feel very confusing, very weird, especially because it's familiar and yet totally different. But as you progress doing it on the other side, you will start to feel, actually, I've got this. And in between, you may experience some confusion because it will start to feel normal on the second side, or at least that's how I feel. Explaining my own experience of this, that sometimes, I'll go, is this the normal way or is this the mirrored way? So you just have to keep your wits about you at all stages. Eventually, you'll be able to jump between the two easily, no problem. But regardless, you have to keep your wits about you, or you can end up doing some strange hybrid or ending up somewhere where you didn't mean to be. So just stay with it. This is mindfulness practice. Tai Chi, all Tai Chi is mindfulness practice, which means that as you practice, you are companioning your body. So you don't have to dictate terms as to do this now, do this, do this. At the beginning it feels like that, but as you progress it will be, ah, yes, this is what I do now, oh yes, and this is what I do now, and isn't that interesting, this is how it feels as I do this now. So it changes a little bit, so stay with it. It's all too easy for the mind to wander, and you'll know when my mind wanders, I make mistakes. So it happens to the best of us. It'll happen to you, I'm sure, at some stage. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Who cares? Just jump back in as best you can. Try to stay with it. Okay, on the second side then, the Phoenix in graceful clouds. God bless him. Okay, are we ready? Let's lengthen up and relax down. Visualize the first moon as that will guide you in. Ready, start. Left hand scoops under. Good. How did you get on? Happy to, I love thumbs up. Great. Okay. So, unless there's any questions about any of that, we will move on to the Immortals form and spend the last quarter of an hour, just over, on the Immortals. Now, as I said, when you're training, it is very useful to take a little bit and just repeat, repeat, repeat. And we have done that in the past. It's very useful. Let's do the whole form, and then if there's any section that you would like to repeat, 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 we can do that. Though the whole form repeating is also very good. I'm a great advocate for, yes, do concentrated focus work, but also do overall work. If you only ever do concentrated work, you may find that the whole lot, when you try to put it together, doesn't flow, that there's the sort of edges of the work that you have done this block so many times and this block so many times, but have you done the link between the two so many times? So bit work is very useful, but only in conjunction with overall work. Just do a bit of everything. Okay, are we ready from the top? Ready to get as close to you as I can and still be in frame. Ready, prepare, relaxing down. Let's lengthen the fingers down. And we'll begin. Left hand under. Turn and push the heel out. Step. Turn, turn. Turn in. Release. I'd like you to notice, please, how everything, always your structure, is supported by structured arms. If your arms flop to the side, it's so much harder to balance. We want to keep the arms engaged, but relax. So there's no need for tension in the arms. We keep them nice and soft, but always structured. the structure. Right arm down, left arm up. Cross and strike a pose. And take a breath. Breathe and calm. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breathing. Point the floor. And we close the left. Good. And a heel tap. Excellent. So I hesitated there for a moment. I was like, shall we do the jump kick? Shall we do the balance? I did the balance. I think it's quite nice in the first instance anyway that you do the balance. As I say, think of it like warming up, getting ready for it. So any questions, any area you would like to focus on, or just the whole thing? I'm saying thumbs up, whole thing. Yeah, I'm going, I'm saying whole thing. Okay. Because we're not unmuting ourselves. Yeah, let's do the whole thing again. And this time we'll do the jump kick if you feel up to it. If you don't want to, just do the balance again. Or you can just kind of, I mean, that could, you don't have to, you don't have to do the whole thing. You can, what's the word? Yeah, mark it, as we say in dance. You can mark it if you can't do it, or fake it till you make it is another way to say. Okay, from the top, please. I'm trying to iron out the corners a bit so that you can see as much as possible. And remember that Master Lok encourages you to play with your angles to what suits you best. So if I were just to do it for myself, I would want to be doing it to 45 degrees, the corners, but because I'm working with yourselves, and I'm my back to you, I'm pulling it out a bit more towards the sides, but it's okay either way. It's not that one way is better than the other. Um, if you were in a group performing, you would just all agree on what angle to do. So yeah, so just bear that in mind. If your hips don't like turning, then you can do it more on the angle. And if you're more comfortable to turn to the sides, you can do it more to the side. Yeah, okay. Are we ready? Am I in view? Yes, just about. Prepare. Ready. And Right hand in hook, step left. Left hand in hook, turn left. Right hand in hook, step, step, push, and step down. Keep circling. Kick, step, prepare, and come across. Down, down, up, down, and step, gather, right, down, left, up, move in, step back, and take a deep breath. Point to the floor. Close left. Jolly good. Well done. Okay, so any questions, any comments? How is that turn feeling? I'm seeing thumbs ups. Wonderful. Good stuff. Okay, folks, let's have a wee warm down, please. Hello, Daisy. The cats are within 10 centimeters of each other. And there's no hissing. That's an improvement. Okay, we breathe and relax. Good. Okay, cup your hands and pat your body. Any area that has been working, give it a wee bit of love now. Give it a wee bit of attention. Anything that doesn't feel 100%, give it a wee bit of attention. This is another way to help, in somatic terms, hydrate. So when you pat your body, you stimulate the blood flow, and with blood flow, you get hydration, don't you? You get fluid flowing. Good. So we go over the shoulders. I have to be a wee bit careful even with this kind of thing, with the burn, the impact. I feel the flesh vibrate. You wouldn't even normally notice it, but when the tissue is damaged, it's okay. I'm sure it's hydrating it, it's helping it to heal, but I feel it. Okay, ready? We go up and up and up. So we're passing underneath the arm. Good. Well done. Okay. I would like to ask you to do a little homework for me, or for yourself, every day. And it might sound a bit strange, so don't do this sort of first thing in the morning where it might annoy the neighbours, or indeed last thing at night when it might annoy the neighbours. But during the day, when it's okay to make a bit of noise, I would like you to sit, is probably easier, and clap your hands and stamp your feet. Like this. For a few seconds and then relax down. I'd like you to do that every day, please. Very good for stimulating the energy flow. If you're stimulating the energy flow to your extremities, then everything in between gets bathed in more energy. The energy goes to the tips of the toes and the feet, and so everything else gets more energy as well. I often do that in seated classes, but because you're standing, you'd been missing out. So now is your opportunity to catch up. Do you feel a tingling? Yeah, good. So it's a variation in a way of Bai Bing Xiao, of 100 ailments go away. So clapping and stamping your feet, very, very useful. Let's now do our Bai Bing Xiao. So we're going to flop the wrists and we bounce. Good. And breathe and let all your floppy bits go floppy. And relax down. And finally, we're going to cup the hands and pat the inside of the elbow and the other side. Good. We're going to chop to the groin. So we sit down a little bit, make that V shape, and chop. These are lymphatic moves, folks. And cup the hands. And pat the backs of the knees. Again, I'd just like you to stand for a moment and breathe. And feel your whole body tingling. Isn't that nice? Let's gather your energy up to center, please. Hug your elbows gently in and breathe. Feeling now down into your belly. And feel your energy is stronger. Very good. Well done. Beautiful. Relax down. Isn't that a lovely way to start your day? Thank you so much for joining me today, folks, and working so hard. I hope you're enjoying your Master Lok Style work and you're getting to the stage that you can really work on it yourself and work on little bits that are challenging, that you're not quite feeling right with. Remember, if it doesn't feel right, adjust. And it's always good then to bring it back to class and talk to your teacher about it, because in that way you can progress so much quicker. If you ask someone who has already been through it, then they'll be able to guide you so much quicker than just working it out all by yourself. But the two together is very useful. Self-inquiry and asking someone who has maybe done it a little bit longer or had information directly from the master. So thank you so much. Let's take right hand in fist, left hand straight, tuck back that thumb. We bring everything together and we salute. Well done, folks, and I look forward to seeing you next time.